All golfers have a hope to get better, but you need more than hope. You need a plan. And this video outlines your score improvement plan.
The On-Target Game Improvement System first develops a scoring profile to determine those areas of your game contributing most to your high scores. This is done by tracking the shots you hit on the course in 4 areas: driving, approach shots, the short game shots around the green, and your putting. Golf is 4 games in one, and your scoring profile objectively measures and compares your skill scores in those 4 games and identifies your strengths and weaknesses. Now first let's look at your driving performance in both distance and accuracy. The distance you hit with your best drives is good enough to score well. You don't necessarily need to hit your best drive better, just more often.
During our round, you hit 36% of the fairways, and I would like for you to have a statistical goal for driving to be 50% of fairways hit. In your full swing report, I covered some of the fundamentals that we might work on, but in looking at your flight scope statistics, we can also make some improvements in that area as well. Your driver may not be the best fit for your swing, and that I would prefer you have a regular flex driver and a 10.5 driver. Your club head speed was 86 miles an hour, and that puts you pretty much in the center of a regular flex shaft. That speed is not high enough to load the shaft so that you have a sufficient kick out of the shaft to get more distance. It'll not only help you hit it a little bit further, but it'll help you square the club face up so that you'll hit them a little bit more on line with what you want, instead of losing some of these to the right. Some of these are going to the right because the shaft isn't kicking strong enough to bring that face around square to the ball. Your spin rate was also high. It's about 4,500 RPMs, and I would like that to be maybe a 3,500 or less. And one of the things that you also did is you had a tendency to swing down the ball. You had an average of a negative 1.2 degrees down on your driver. I would like to have that be 2 or 3 degrees up.
Now let's look at your approach shot performance. During the round, we hit approach shots only from the fairway, and the majority of shots were from 150 yards or closer.
During our round, you hit 54% of the greens. Now, we were hitting from the fairway and not fairway and rough. And so from the fairway, that statistic could be a little bit higher. I would suggest a statistical goal for your approach shots to be 65% of the greens when you're hitting from the fairway.
Now let's look at your chip and pitch shot performance. Golf is about hitting targets. With driving, your target is the fairway. With approach shots, your target is the green. Your target for chip and pitches is to hit it close enough to give yourself a reasonable chance to make the first putt. That target is at least 18 feet from the hole and ideally less than 9 feet.
During the round, you hit 80% of your short game shots inside of 18 feet, and 33% of them were inside of 9 feet. Those are very good statistics. Now, because most of the time between 9 and 18 feet we will 2-putt, I would like for you to get a higher percentage of these short game shots inside of 9 feet, which gives you a better chance to have an up and down. Your statistical goal for the short game will be to get 45% of your short game shots inside of 9 feet. Now let's look at your putting statistics. During the round, you had 5 3-putts, which is about 28% of the holes played. The tour average is 3% of the holes played. Another statistics we kept during the round is the percentage of first putts that stopped within 3 feet. 47% of your first putts stopped outside of 3 feet. Your statistical goal for putting is to track the performance of all first putts that are further than 18 feet from the hole and have 75% of them stop within 1 yard of the hole. Next in the on-target system is to prioritize the most important areas to work on first. I gave you statistical goals in each area, but what statistical goals are the most important to reach? I want my students to have 1 full swing project and 1 short game project. I would like your full swing project to be to hit 50% of the fairways. Your short game project is to hit 75% of the putts further than 18 feet inside of 3 feet. Once these goals are met, we can look again at your overall statistics and set new goals and projects. Now that we've identified the problem areas and have set some statistical goals to achieve, we need to identify what's causing our current problem and implement a correction.
To hit more fairways, you need to make the mechanical changes I described in your full swing report. This will require at least one session to establish the change and learn the drills to do in your practice sessions. You will probably need a follow-up a few weeks after that to make sure you are still on track. During both the first session and any follow-up sessions, I want to also work on your short game project. This work will be to continue the fundamentals we covered in the school on your short game. Part of the on-target system also is to continue tracking your statistics when you play a round of golf. By attending the golf school, you now have a one-year membership to the On-Target Golf Association website, which has my Power Tracker where you can easily record your statistics. The member side of the website is in the final stages of our newest update and will be ready to use shortly. When it is, I will send you the log information you need and the tutorials that show how to use Power Tracker. The email I am sending will show you several options to choose from on which lesson program might be best for your situation.